So I recorded this over 2 days, and I unfortunately did not realize that the earbuds that I'm using affected my audio. So I will be narrating what is going on. We went to a party, and I'm trying to find her a significant other. This was our first option, Mateo, but unfortunately he is actually engaged, so I wasn't able to choose him. And then I decided to utilize a scorekeeper. I chose the bunny scorekeeper on the Legacy Challenge website. They have a spot where it has a bunch of scorekeepers. I like it because it's really colorful, but I do have a backup option on a Google form that if this one ends up not working out because it is an older one, that I can use that one because it is more updated. It's got more technical stuff and it's not as fun to fill out, if that makes sense. So the party was a bust. I couldn't find anybody else. And then we had to go to the eco lifestyle town to recycle some materials to get some more bits. This was the second option. Patia, I think his name was. I apologize. But we weren't compatible. So he ended up not working out. And we talked for a little while longer because then I need to ask them about their questions about their utilities to get that for my work. And then I noticed that the puppy was starting to get hungry, so we decided to do a walk home. Then we had our welcome wagon, which is hilarious because I've already been here for a week and then now I finally get the welcome wagon, but they weren't very interesting, so I just played with the dog. My Sims started to get hungry and there was this new additive, and if you completed all of them, then you got these potions. In that next morning, we got invited to go to the market. I saw these crystals and I decided to get as many as I could. I actually had to end up selling them so that I can afford more. Then I started to get more. I started to look for other candidates, and then there is Kyle. I haven't dated Kyle yet, so I decided to choose Kyle as my matriarch spouse. It really didn't take very long for us to get to know each other because we are actually quite compatible. And then it was over, we took him home. With us having the tiny living, our friendship went up really quickly, and then I just started slowly flirting. And then the big question, he asked if he could move in. So I said yes, and I know technically you're not supposed to take what your spouse has as their money. So what I ended up doing is I kept all of the household stuff and I'm utilizing it to redecorate the house. And then whatever is left in the household inventory, I am selling, having it into the household funds, and then I brought it back to the original amount that we were at before Kyle joined our household, which was 298 simoleons. But I wanted this house to be livable for 2 Sims and a dog, so that's always been something that I've always done whenever I've added Sims in, because they always come with stuff with them, and so I feel like I use that as my reasoning to be able to get nicer stuff when I add Sims into the household. It was so annoying. I couldn't figure out why my Sims couldn't go to sleep together, like they would not share the bed. And then I realized Kyle asked to move in, but we weren't actually boyfriend and girlfriend yet. So it took me like 10 minutes and moving the bed around and spending more money to realize that it wasn't that he couldn't fit on the other side of the bed, it's that because they weren't boyfriend and girlfriend yet. So I could have made the room smaller and brought it back down to a 32 by 32 lot, but I decided to just go up to the 64 because we're not really going to be gardening and I don't really need that extra. What was it? There was another boost. I think it was like a Lovebirds boost. I don't really need that. And then I learned recently that you can downsize curtains, so I was very excited to use that this time. building is not my biggest strong suit, so I did try my best, and this is technically, I guess you could categorize as my first speed build. So it was fun. We needed to find Kyle a job, and I saw that his comedian was skill 6, so I put him in the entertainment, and that's how we ended that. On day 2, I decided to go CC shopping because about a month ago I lost, or was it 2 months ago, I lost all my CC because my booting in my SD card or my drive, it crashed. So I lost all those files, and so I decided to go through and find some new. And then this is me looking. I was actually looking an hour previous before I decided to record it, but this is what I found in my next hour. I put 264 items in my mods folder. Most of it's kid clothes and cosmetics because I don't really feel like the kids have a lot of options. Oh, and Mel Sim clothes. There's a lot of those, so those were the 3 that I was really looking for. But I kept saying I was going to get off, and then I'd stay on longer, and then I'd say I'm going to get off, and then I'd stay on longer. When you go CC shopping, it is addictive, and it's so hard to get off because you're like, what am I going to find on the next page? And I've never downloaded these full modded or CC Sims before, so I did download those, and I'm going to try those out, and I'm going to see how I like that. It was time to go into Cass, and then I realized that Owlette had lost all of her CC. I have no idea why. So I couldn't remember what she had on before. For some reason, she still had her CC eyes, but her skin, her eyebrows, her freckles, all gone. So I had to re-put it back on, and I was like, well, this gives me an excuse to play with the new hairs that I got. Then it was Kyle's turn. I didn't really like the different shaded long hair, so I ended up giving him a more messier updo, which you'll see that here in just a sec. That one. I chose that one. I really like that one, and then I let him keep his scruff. I don't like the gauges, so I gave him some ring piercings. And then we chose his outfits. I noticed that he liked to wear a lot of blacks and tans, so I tried to stick with the blacks and tans. And then I always do 2 sets of outfits for each theme, 2 set and then the themed sets, so that it kind of gives them 2 options to go between, and I don't always end up seeing the same outfits. Okay, and then I was just having him work on his comedy skill. I was hoping that he still could have gotten the daily task by doing the microphone, but unfortunately it didn't work, so I had to wait until they went to work for hopefully enough money to get a computer, and they did end up getting enough money for a computer, so he was able to start writing jokes, which I was really happy about. And then the next day was Winterfest, so they actually had Thanksgiving leftovers, and then the next day was Winterfest. They were both in a bad mood, so I had them have a little bit of fun. And then I've been trying to get Kyle to get best friends with our dog Konai, and he's almost a companions, so I was really excited about that. And then they went out for a run for a little bit, and then in a few minutes it will be Winterfest. She still needed to get her logic skill up, so I had her work on her logic skill. And then there's the laptop. It took him a lot longer than what I thought it was going to, but I mean, it wasn't terrible. Paka came over again to try and talk. I learned that actually Kyle and Paka are friends. They have a friend relationship, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I got the guitar for him so that he could get working on his aspiration. I changed it from party animal to the musician, so he had to get 6 hours of playing a musician, and then he had to get 2 hours of listening to music. So I let him borrow Owlette's earbuds. Right now Owlette's making the ham. But unfortunately, for some reason, the ham didn't work out and it didn't let me get to call grand meal. So I tried to make another one, and that one still didn't let me get to call grand meal. So they got all the other stuff, like the decorating and the festivities and the giving presents and meeting Father Christmas and getting a gift, which they got a massive microscope. And then I think Kyle got, let's see, it will show me here in the inventory in just a sec. I forgot what Kyle got. And then for some reason, Father Christmas showed up in his swimsuit and he was freezing. I was like, are you crazy? And then so did Kyle. And I don't know where or why they would get into their swimwear. It made no sense to me. He got a really nice painting that was like 1,400 simoleons. So, but that's where that ended. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.